Hey there everyone, welcome back to another No Man's Sky video. I'm Captain Beefy. This is the Game Vault. We're going to talk about ship scrapping today. You know, how to get started at it, what kind of system to look for to do it in, and what the benefits are to doing this. So let's cue up the music and we'll get right to it. Alright, first things first, you're going to need a good system to scrap ships. Not any old system will work. Now, currently, I'm sitting on just over 1 million units, which is absolute garbage. I can't buy very many ships with that. And if you find yourself in a similar position, well, we're not quite ready to start, ship farming right now, are we? Ship scrapping and all that. No, we're not, because we don't have any money. But there is a workaround. So, what I did is I chose a system that is a Viking system. It's got a 1 star on the conflict, 3 stars on the economy. So, it's a well-to-do system. That means I have a higher chance of getting S-class ships coming into the space station as well as landing at trade places and so forth. But the most important thing is this is a dissonant system. So I can go ahead and get myself, nice and easy, some starting capital to get going on this. And I can do that simply by finding the dissonant planet. So let's go down and locate a dissonant planet. Okay, if you don't have any of these in your inventory yet, an echolocator, you're going to need to get some. You're also going to need some inverted mirrors, and we're going to need to find some radiant shards, which unfortunately we don't have any right now. But all of that stuff can be found on a dissonant planet, and one of these puppies is going to be dissonant, so we just got to find it. But if you've already got one of those shards, you're in good, or one of those echolocators, all you got to do is resonate it, and it's going to lead you to a dissonant planet in your system. Where is it? It's over here. So here we go, unknown planet. We're going to head right to the harmonic echo. I'll see you guys there. Alright, I wanted to make sure we were in regular normal mode, so we are. And when you get one of those echolocators, it brings you to a camp like this. And we've gone over this kind of stuff before, but if it's your first time here, we'll just take you through it step by step. And everything you can do at this camp, actually. We're going to clean out all of this scrap because sometimes good stuff is in there. I'll take all that down. Lots of residual goop, runaway mold, and all that. Out of all 5 of these things, most of them can be turned into nanites. And this actually, if we open it, we can analyze the data. What do we get for that? More nanites, so pretty good run of nanites there. Alright, you come up to the harmonic interface in the camp, and it's always located in the very center of the camp. This little computer. Go do all of this part of it. This is the first time I'm at one with this character. We have to scan the memory registers, solve 3 math problems. So what do we got there? 8, 14, and 3. Remember those numbers. Access the main interface. Input the glyphs. And we've got 8, 14, and 3. And this will do 2 things for us. So it'll lift the lockdown, first off. And we'll be able to locate a ship with that. So we can locate a dissonant spike, which will show us where a crashed or a abandoned sentinel ship is. And the only reason we're doing this, I mean, you can go for sentinel ships if you want to farm, but that's a lot of legwork and all that. It's much better to farm ships on the actual space station because you can just buy them and scrap them, buy them and scrap them, buy them and scrap them. But if you don't have the money to do that, then you got to make a little money first. And this is a pretty quick way to make some money. So we're going to find a ship. Let's see what we got here. A little A-class, huh? we're not buying it. But we're going to find a ship, and you can see right out there, about 35 minutes away, we've got the ship location. So I'm going to fly to that and meet you there. Alright, so we landed near the ship, but before we even interact with it, we want to make sure we have some of those mirrors and some radiant shards. To get the radiant shards, you're going to need the advanced mining laser. To find the other things, you're going to need to find these dissonant resonators. And I got one right up here. I'll show you where it is. This is also how you'll get echolocators. And again, this is just the first step. You don't have to do a ton of this. But you definitely want to get a couple ships, depending on how much they're worth, just so you have a little income to work with as you go through this farming process. And I thought we had a thingy around here, didn't we? Oh, yeah, it's up here. Okay. I was like, are my eyes deceiving me? There it is. See the big purple guy? So I do have a cloaking device equipped, and if we look up real close, we can see it has an inverted mirror, so if I shoot that, it'll give me an inverted mirror. I'm not going to do that now because I don't want to get in... screw it, we'll do it. And we'll just escape. It's going to piss off the sentinels. Come on. Now, sometimes you can get an echolocator with one of those, which is really nice because that'll help you find the camps. But for the inverted mirror, that's what you need to do. And you're going to want to make sure you have a couple of these and a couple radiant shards when you actually interact with the ship. And that will allow you to take the next step. So I'll meet you down at the ship. Alright, so here we are. We've got a crashed, abandoned Sentinel ship. We'll interact with it. And we can go ahead and clear this stuff off of it. So we can take the glass, we can take the pugnium, and we can take the hyaline brain. Put it in our inventory, and then just back out of it. This is a B class, which is nice. If you look at it, it's got a 38 million unit value to it, which is pretty solid. That's a great start. That'll get us going. We're going to go into our inventory and we're going to activate that brain by probing the subconsciousness of it. That's going to lead us to another location. So, like I said, this takes time. Very time consuming. So, I'll take you through the steps of this first one. Then I'm going to do a second one just to have a little extra money. And we'll go from there. Alright, so we arrived at the location, one of these little alien monolith locations. We're going to talk to it here, and it's going to ask us to unlock the brain. So we present the brain to it. Boom, boom, boom. We get it. It's back in our system. It has been turned into a harmonic brain, and I'll meet you back at the ship. Alright, so the storm's finally clearing. So we're back at the ship, and we're going to interact with it now, and we're going to need to repair this ship. And you see it takes 3 radiant shards, 1 inverted mirror, and 1 harmonic brain. Fortunately, radiant shards are probably the easiest thing to find in here. So you definitely, like I said, before you do this, you're going to want to stock up. And depending on how many ships you want to get, you may want to get enough to get 2 or 3 ships. I'm going to do 2. So here we go. We're going to compare this ship real quick, and we're going to claim it. And it doesn't cost us a penny because we basically rescued it. So there we go. That's our first ship. A nice little B class. And again, valued at about 38 million units, which is pretty cool. So going back into our inventory here, we're going to pop off another echolocator and go to another camp and repeat the process. So once all that's done, I'll see you back aboard the space station. Actually, I'll see you when we get the second ship. Alright, so we've got our second ship now, and this one is only a C class. So you can see it's about 23 million units available to it. So now that we've got 2 of these ships and we've got roughly 60 million units of money on hand, it's not going to come out to be that much when we scrap them, but you know, it'll be pretty decent. Let's go ahead and claim it. We'll be able to start salvaging ships on board the space station. and that's where things will really get fun. So I'll see you there. Alright, so we're up here near all the vendors. This is where we can do the starship outfitting, and this is where we can upgrade or scrap ships. As you can see, it only gives us about 16 million for this one in value, and it's roughly 23 million. So, you know, they're not worth as much as they say they are when you scan them. Now, before you go ahead and destroy that thing, you're going to want to look at it real quick and see if anything on it, any of the components, can be broken down. None of these can, unfortunately. But when you start doing regular ships, like, you know, these kind of guys and all that, you'll be able to break those things down. So for now, we're just going to go ahead and take this ship down. So, boom, we're going to claim the scrap. Actually, we're not going to claim the scrap yet. We're going to go in here. Yeah, we don't have anything good. Alright. I want to clean my inventory out before I do this kind of stuff so I can see the value of what I've got. So, we're going to claim the scrap. And that was just a C-class. Nothing spectacular, but what you end up getting out of that is a variety of things. Things that are worth money. Here you go, Starship AI valves, 12 million a pop. 3 million for the indium scraps. Subatomic regulators, almost $1 million, and then some nano cables, right? And then you also get hyperdrive and pulse engine modules. So you'll get modules that are the equivalent level of whatever your ship is that you're scrapping. So if you're scrapping a B ship, you'll get B modules. An A class, S class, you'll get those kind of modules. Now we want to go ahead and scrap that other one, and the quickest way to get that is to just leave the space station and summon in the anomaly real quick. Right across from it, you're going to fly straight out and land in here. And once we get landed, we're going to switch this ship that we're in now for the other Sentinel ship that we got, the B class, and then we're going to destroy that one, and we're going to see how much money we have to work with, and we'll start doing our, you know, our scrapping. So we push down, boom, go ahead, and just like you're on a planet's surface and you want to summon a different ship, it works exactly the same way. I can't tell you how long I did not know this was a thing. And you can do it on your freighter too, so if you have a freighter and you prefer to do it on your freighter, feel free. You can't do it on the actual space station, unfortunately, but the freighter and the anomaly, so that's cool. At least there's options. You don't have to go all the way down to a planet's surface, because let me tell you, I've wasted some time doing that. So we're going to go ahead and scrap this puppy as well. And that should give us enough money to play around with a little bit. So this one's valued at 38 million. What do you want to guess? About 24 million, maybe? 26.6. Okay. We're going to claim that scrap. You see we got the B-class modules for that one. So you're going to make nanites and you're going to make money when you do this. And that's the whole point of these things. So anyway, here's all the stuff we have of value. We're going to go ahead and dump off these modules real quick. And start earning some nanites. Now we still only have $1 million, but let's go ahead and talk to somebody down here and see how much money we can earn back. So, hello, warrior. Offer to trade. We'll sell. And I like cleaning out my inventory when I do this because it makes all this stuff easier to find. You may not have that opportunity if you have too much crap. I don't know. But there's 3 million, there's 36 million, another 3 million almost, and then another million. And that puts us at 44 million. So just like that, we made 43 million bucks. And I've been doing this for about 26 minutes today. So, you know, granted, I had a little bit of a head start because I had the echolocators already. So, you know, but still, it's not too difficult to get this going. And if you want to avoid echolocators and go straight for Dreadnought AI, the Dreadnought AIs that you get from destroying the Sentinel Dreadnoughts, you could do that by just engaging in combat with the Sentinels. You could do it on foot, and when you finally clear out a level 5, you'll end up with one of the Dreadnought AIs, or, if you do it in space, you'll end up with one after you destroy their freighter, so that's cool. So we're going to sit here and we're going to wait until an S-class or an A-class ship comes in, and you may want to occasionally do the old reset, which I'm going to do right now just because we've been sitting here for a bit and doing stuff, and I'll let you know when we get our first ship come in. Okay, well, we got ourselves an A-class fighter up here, so we're going to go ahead and buy this. I'm only going to show you one ship. You guys can do this as many times as you want until you run out of money. But I will let you know you are slowly going to run out of money as you do this. So we're going to go ahead and talk to the fella real quick. We're going to make an offer on his starship. See a nice little A-class. We'll negotiate the price. It's going to cost $13 million, which will take a pretty good chunk out of our cash right now, but that's okay. Now, before we do anything else, and then we'll look, we have, again, nothing in here, right? What you should do before you even trade anything in is see if you can dismantle anything. So whatever you can dismantle, we tried this on the other one. It didn't work with the Sentinel ship, but see, we've got a little chromatic metal, little sodium, and the always useful wiring loom, so that's worth some money right there alone. At least the wiring looms are. That'll save you some money in the long run. But again, value of the ship change, $13.3 million. We go to scrap it, and as you can see, we're going to lose about $4 million on this, so we're going to scrap it. And perfect. This is just what I would have hoped would happen. Alright, so we got 3 indium scraps worth the $9.3 million. This is another great thing with A-class and S-class. You seem to stand a much better chance of picking up a storage augmentation from them. These you can use to increase the size of your other ships if you want. And then, of course, we got ourselves some nice little A-class modules here. As you can see, we got about 900 nanites worth right there. So that's kind of perfect right there. That was a really good haul. So yeah, you can sit here and do this all day long basically and just make tons and tons of nanites. You'll eventually run out of money, like I said. We're going to go ahead and sell all that stuff. First, let's go ahead and sell these. I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to keep this stuff. I mean, I may as well. Resources are always handy. But we will sell the indium scraps, or whatever we got there. I think it was indium scraps. And we're going to sell them to a ship that comes in. We're not going to sell them to the actual vendor here, the trade vendor, because that will eventually lower their value. And if you plan on doing this for a while, you're going to want to keep selling them to the guys who land here. So we'll wait patiently for the next guy to land, and we'll see how much money we recover and where we stand. We were at 44 million. We're down 14. I'll see you in a second. Alright, so we're going to go sell off our stuff here. Now, a couple notes real quick. I don't recommend doing this in a GEC system, and the reason being GEC ships tend to be the haulers. That seems to be the main ship that lands in a GEC system. In a Viking system, it's fighters. In a Corvette system, it's explorers. I would recommend going Viking or Corvette, as they're both fairly inexpensive comparatively. Look at that, $5.4 million for an Explorer B-class, $6.8 for a Fighter B-class. And of course that varies based on the size of the ship, the cargo, and all that kind of good stuff. So that's something to consider. And also, before you decide to settle in a specific system, sit in the actual space station for a little bit and just watch the flow of ships as they come in and out. Again, you want a nice 3-star system. You want low conflict. Some systems seem to just have ships come in and out, in and out, in and out. Others seem to slow down a little bit. And this one's been a little janky. I've had to reload quite a few times just to keep the flow going. You can always do that. You can let your first group come in and then just reload and let the group come in again if it's like that. I tend to find that a little annoying. I found systems where the flow of ships is just constant, and that's the best. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion, because you just keep things moving along, and you can keep getting those nanites, scrapping those ships, and hopefully building up plenty of storage augmentation. So, in any case, if you found this useful at all, a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. It helps me out immensely. You can't understand how much. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell for notifications. I'm Captain Beefy. This is the Game Vault. This has been another No Man's Sky video. I'll see you guys next time. Until then, peace.